Most people think success starts with money, connections, or luck. But the truth? It always begins with a single thought. What you think you become. Napoleon Hill wrote those words nearly a century ago. And people like Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, and Jeff Bezos have proven them right time and again. But here's the twist. If thoughts are so powerful, why do so many people still struggle? Why do so many never reach their potential? Let me tell you a story that answers this. It's a story that begins in a crowded American train station years ago with a boy named Alex. Alex wasn't a businessman. He wasn't an inventor. He wasn't even a student. He was a boy who shined shoes for a living. His father had passed away when he was young, and his mother worked long hours at a factory just to keep food on the table. Alex's earnings weren't much, just a few coins here and there, but he was proud that at least he could help. On rainy days, when the platforms filled with wet footprints and muddy shoes, Alex made a little more. On slow days, he barely earned enough for dinner. And like most kids his age, he dreamed of a better future, but he didn't know how to reach it. One afternoon, something happened that changed everything. A well-dressed businessman stepped onto the platform. His sharp suit, polished shoes, and confident walk made him stand out instantly. Alex hurried over, eager for the chance to earn $1. "Sir, can I shine your shoes?" Alex asked. The man stopped, glanced at his already perfect shoes, and smiled. "Do you always just ask people for work?" he said. "Or do you ever offer something first?" Alex froze. He'd never heard a question like that before. I just shine shoes. That's all I can do." The businessman nodded slowly. "If you believe that's all you can do, then that's all you'll ever get. But remember this, success always comes through exchange. You give something, and in return, you receive. If you think you have nothing to give, then you'll never receive much at all." With that, the man walked away, leaving Alex standing on the platform with more questions than answers. That night, Alex couldn't sleep. The businessman's words echoed in his head. "If you want to receive, you must first give. But what do I have to give?" Alex whispered into the dark. "I'm just a shoe shine boy. I don't own anything." For the next few days, Alex barely worked. He sat at the station lost in thought. Then one morning, he noticed something simple that he'd never paid attention to before. Wildflowers growing near the tracks. Their colors were bright, almost glowing against the gray cement. Alex picked a few just out of curiosity. And then an idea struck him. What if I don't just shine shoes? What if I give people something back, something unexpected? That day, when he polished a customer's shoes, he handed them a flower with a shy smile. The man looked surprised. "What's this?" "A gift," Alex said. "Thanks for letting me shine your shoes." The man chuckled, slipped him an extra coin, and walked away smiling. Word spread quickly. Customers began looking for the boy with the flowers. Some even stopped by just to see him, not because they needed their shoes polished, but because they wanted that small moment of kindness he gave. And to Alex's amazement, his earnings doubled, then tripled. For the first time in his life, Alex felt a shift deep inside. He wasn't just a poor boy shining shoes anymore. He was giving value, not just taking. And that made him feel different, stronger, bigger. Like maybe, just maybe, he could become something more. He didn't know it yet. But this was the moment his entire life began to change. Days turned into weeks. And Alex's little flower idea became his trademark. Regular commuters recognized him instantly. The shoe shine boy with a bundle of wildflowers tucked into his pocket. His customers weren't just paying for clean shoes anymore. They were paying for how he made them feel. Appreciated. Seen. One afternoon, as Alex was polishing shoes and handing out flowers, he spotted a familiar face stepping off the train. It was the same businessman, the man whose words had sparked this transformation. Alex's heart raced. He grabbed a few flowers and ran toward him. "Sir, this time I have something to give you first." The businessman stopped, looking curious. Alex handed him the flowers with a smile. "If you let me shine your shoes, these are yours." For a moment, the man said nothing. Then he laughed softly and handed Alex a $5 bill. "You've learned the lesson. You're not just a shoe shine boy anymore. You're a businessman. You've understood exchange." Those words hit Alex like lightning. Businessman, not beggar, not poor boy. Businessman. For the rest of that day, Alex couldn't stop thinking about it. That night, instead of going straight home, he sat on the station bench and watched the crowds. Suits, dresses, polished shoes, heavy briefcases, people rushing somewhere important. For the first time, Alex didn't feel like he was beneath them. He felt like maybe he belonged in that world too. Over the next few months, Alex turned his flower idea into something bigger. He stopped picking wildflowers and started buying roses, daisies and carnations from a local market early each morning. He made small bouquets, tied with string, and offered them with every shine. People loved it. Travelers bought shoes polished and bouquets to take home. Husbands picked up flowers for their wives. Young men bought them for girlfriends. Even kids tugged at their parents' coats asking for a flower. Alex's income skyrocketed. Soon, he wasn't just surviving, he was saving. But more importantly, his mindset was changing. Every dollar he earned reinforced the businessman's lesson. Life is about giving before receiving. And success? Success wasn't about waiting for luck. It was about creating value where others saw none. One evening, Alex's mother noticed the change too. He handed her his earnings for the week, more than she made at the factory. Tears welled in her eyes. "Alex, how did you do this?" He smiled. "I stopped thinking like a beggar, Mom. I started thinking like a businessman." She hugged him tightly, whispering, "Your father would be proud." That night, lying in bed, Alex stared at the ceiling, replaying everything in his mind. He realized something powerful. His entire life had shifted the moment he started to believe he had something to give. The flowers weren't just flowers. They were proof that he could create value. And once you believe you can create value, you're no longer powerless. You're unstoppable. Months later, the station manager approached Alex. "You've been doing great business here, kid, but this platform is getting crowded. If you want to grow, you'll need a proper stall." A stall. Alex had never thought that far ahead. But the idea lit a fire inside him. Within a week, he had saved enough to rent a tiny wooden stand near the main entrance. He painted it himself, wrote "Shoe Shines and Flowers" in bold letters, and opened for business. People lined up, travelers, commuters, even tourists. It seemed everyone wanted to experience the boy's unique touch. His little stand became a station landmark. And Alex? He was no longer running from poverty. He was running toward opportunity. The businessman had been right. Success wasn't about waiting for people to give you something. It was about finding something, anything you could give first. Alex finally understood that this principle wasn't just about shoe shines or flowers. It was about life itself. By the time Alex turned 16, his stall wasn't just a place for polished shoes and flowers. It had become a small hub of community. People knew him by name. "Alex, got roses today? Alex, can you make this bouquet special? It's my wife's birthday?" Even the station guards, who once brushed him aside, now tipped their hats when they passed. One chilly morning, as commuters hurried to catch the early train, a stranger lingered by his stand. He wore a long coat, carried a leather briefcase, and had the kind of sharp gaze that seemed to see right through you. Alex greeted him cheerfully. "Good morning, sir. Would you like a shine or some flowers?" The man didn't answer right away. Instead, he studied the sign above the stall, "Shoe Shines and Flowers." Then he smiled slightly. "Shoe shines and flowers? That's unusual." Alex grinned. "It's a good trade. Clean shoes for the journey, flowers for for the heart. The man chuckled, handed Alex his shoes, and took a seat. As Alex worked, they chatted. The man asked about his business, his family, his goals. Alex answered with confidence he didn't know he had. When the shine was done, the man handed him a crisp $20 bill. "Keep it," he said. "You've got something rare, ambition. Don't waste it." That moment stuck with Alex for days afterward. He thought about the man's words, ambition. Was that what this was? He wasn't just trying to survive anymore, he was building something. The thought kept him awake at night. He scribbled notes on scrap paper, ideas for new services, new ways to grow. He wanted more than a stall at the station. He wanted a real shop, and so Alex began to take bold steps. He rented a small space just a block away, painted it bright, and turned it into a flower and shoe shop. The grand opening was simple. No banners, no big party. Just Alex, standing proudly behind the counter, ready to serve anyone who walked through the door. To his surprise, customers came quickly. Commuters who once passed him on the platform now visited his shop. Word spread that the shoeshine boy had grown into a young entrepreneur. People respected that. They admired it. But with growth came challenges. Rent was higher. Supplies cost more. Some days, Alex worried he wouldn't make enough to cover expenses. He even thought about quitting once or twice. And yet, every time doubt crept in, he remembered the businessman's voice. If you want to receive, you must first give. So he doubled down. He offered free flowers to first-time customers. He polished shoes for half price during the holidays. He gave away bouquets to hospital patients whose families couldn't afford them. People noticed. The community noticed. And in return, his business thrived. One evening, as Alex closed the shop, he found his mother waiting outside. She looked around, amazed. "Alex," she whispered, "you've built all this?" He nodded, tears in his eyes. "With what you and Dad taught me. Hard work, belief, and giving before taking." She hugged him tightly. "You're not just making money, son. You're making a difference." Those words hit harder than any compliment from strangers. For Alex, this wasn't just about shoes or flowers anymore. It was about proving that greatness wasn't born in wealth or status. It was born in mindset. Months later, fate brought another twist. The businessman, the very one who had sparked Alex's journey, walked into his shop. For a moment, neither spoke. Then recognition flashed across the man's face. "You," he said with a smile. "The shoeshine boy with the flowers." Alex laughed. Not a boy anymore, and not just shoe shines. The businessman looked around the shop impressed. "So you listened. You applied the lesson." Alex handed him a bouquet of fresh roses. "And I'm still giving first." The man nodded. "That's why you're here. Most people wait for success to arrive. You went out and built it." That night, after the shop closed, Alex sat alone, staring at the bouquets lined up in the cooler. He realized something profound. He hadn't just built a business, he had built himself. And the foundation of it all was simple. He stopped chasing success. Instead, he created value, and success came chasing him. Years passed, and Alex's small flower and shoe shop blossomed into something far bigger. He now owned several stores across the city, each one carrying the same warmth and humility that had started on the train station platform. But despite his success, he never forgot where he came from, or the lesson that changed his life. One afternoon, as Alex walked past the busy train station where it had all begun, he noticed a young boy sitting on the steps, holding a cardboard sign, "Hungry, please help." Alex walked over, knelt down, and asked, "What do you have to give?" The boy frowned. "Nothing. I don't have anything." Alex smiled, the same way that businessman had smiled at him years ago. "You always have something, even if it's just a smile, a kind word, or a helping hand. Start with that." He handed the boy a sandwich, then added, "Remember this. Success doesn't come to those who only take. It comes to those who give, who create, who believe they have something valuable inside them. As Alex walked away, he felt a sense of peace. He understood now more than ever, true greatness isn't about wealth or fame. It's about mindset, about choosing to be a giver in a world full of takers. And that choice had made all the difference.